leading the way with breaking news.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Curtis Fuller. That breaking news as we come on the air tonight. Police in Butler Township are getting ready to give an update on that quadruple murder near Dayton. WLWT News 5's Rachel Hersheimer has been covering the story since it broke yesterday. She joins us live now with an update on this breaking news. Rachel?
Yeah, Curtis, we are here waiting to hear from the chief of police in Butler Township. They say that they may have some new information about Stephen Alexander Marlowe, the man who was accused of shooting and killing 4 people yesterday inside their homes. Police have, the last time that they saw him, he was heading west on Interstate 70. Law enforcement have also been made aware of a video that Marlowe posted on the internet. They said that it was published sometime after the shootings, and authorities from the FBI, Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms are all searching for Marlowe. They say he's 5'11", about 160 pounds. He was last seen wearing a yellow shirt and shorts. Police are telling the public that if they do see him, do not approach him. He is known to believed to be armed and dangerous. Again, police, we don't know if they found him. We are waiting to hear more from police tonight. They are about to brief us in just a few minutes, but there are a lot of questions all about what unfolded inside those houses yesterday morning in this neighborhood that neighbors tell us is a really quiet area. People we spoke to were shocked to hear that 4 people were shot and killed in broad daylight, and we are waiting to learn more information tonight.
Hey, Rachel, before you get away, we heard the chief put a plea out to this guy earlier, an interesting plea. He said, "We want to help you." I must be concerned that he could also harm himself. Is that the nature of that?
Yeah, that is exactly what they were telling us today. They were asking him to turn himself in. They were asking him to turn himself in because they wanted all of this to be peaceful. They wanted to help him, is what the chief of police here in Butler Township was telling him. And we're not sure exactly what unfolded. The Butler Township police chief told us earlier today that there would not be any more information released until tomorrow. So we are expecting to hear some sort of development tonight about what happened. We are not sure if he did turn himself in. We are not sure. We are just waiting to learn more information. But again, they kept telling the public he is armed and dangerous. They kept telling everyone, if you do see him, do not approach him. And we are waiting to just learn more about where he is right now. And we are not sure about a motive. We have not learned any of that information yet.
Yeah, and we should tell people we don't know exactly what police are going to say. We just know for them to hold an 11 o'clock press conference, it must be pretty significant. And so we will get right back to you as soon as they walk up to the mic. All right? Thanks a lot, Rachel. Yeah. And now a reminder, as Rachel said, Marlowe is described as 5 feet, 11 inches tall. He has brown hair, blue eyes, was last seen wearing shorts and a yellow T-shirt. Now, again, police believe he's driving a 2007 white Ford Edge SUV with an Ohio license plate number of JES. I'm told they are walking out right now. Let's listen in.
Ready? Good evening. I'm Chief John Porter with the Butler Township Police Department. I am pleased to announce that earlier this evening, just shortly before 10 p.m., Mr. Stephen Marlowe was taken into custody by Lawrence, Kansas Police Department. He has been located and he is now in the custody in Lawrence, Kansas. We'll be making arrangements for extradition in the future as we continue our investigation in this case. At this time, we're not going to release any other information on the case or anything like that, but we do want to thank the general public for all their assistance, all the attention that was given, and all of the information and tips that we received along the way. We also like to make a special mention to our partners, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, the Vandalia Police Department, the FBI, and the BATF. We would like to continue to remember the families in our thoughts and prayers as we continue this, and we will follow up with the media over the next several days as we learn more. Thank you.
Any comment on the connection between Marlo and the victim?
Well, again, there you have it. The latest that Stephen Marlo has been arrested in Lawrence, Kansas, which is about 8 hours from here. They knew that he was headed west on Interstate 70, but again, that he arrived in Lawrence, Kansas, arrested, as you heard, shortly before 10 o'clock tonight. And they are not releasing a lot of information. You heard the officers say they don't want to release a lot of information at this point about this case. But Stephen Marlo, now arrested, he is the person that they believe was responsible for the deaths of 4 people, 82-year-old Clyde Knox, 78-year-old Eva Knox, 41-year-old Sarah Anderson, and 15-year-old Kayla Anderson. And of course, we will continue to monitor this situation. Let's go back out to Rachel Hersheimer, who has been following this story from when it broke yesterday. And we saw the officer walk away, did not want to take any questions. But I am curious, did they say anything maybe walking up to the podium or as they were leaving that we didn't catch on mic there?
They did not. We were asking them about a motive, if any of the victims who died in this shooting have any relation to Stephen Marlo. They are not answering those questions. This is still an ongoing investigation, and we will be following this because there's still a lot of unknowns. But what we know right now is that Stephen Marlo was taken into custody just after 10 o'clock tonight in Lawrence, Kansas.
And I know, Rachel, that you talked with residents, you talked to folks who knew that 15-year-old. What were their thoughts about this incident, this very tragic incident? What were they saying to you?
They were just shocked. They couldn't believe that something like this happened in their neighborhood. They didn't even remember the last time any sort of violence happened in their neighborhood. A lot of people that we spoke with are retired. They've been living there for over 40 years, and they could not believe that violence like this happened. The superintendent of the 15-year-old girl who died in this shooting, he called her a ray of light, and she is definitely going to be missed.
Yeah, and we could see the emotion from that school official earlier as he was just talking about it. Rachel, thank you for the work that you've done on this story. And as I said to people, we will keep you updated, even if we get more